Cooperatives recognized at historic Cooperatives Award ceremony. From the region, Suriname elects first female head of state, and internationally, China reacts to Trump's new BRICS tariff threat. The details after the break.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica. And yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
In our lead story this morning, Arthur Francis, Billon Fontaine, Josephine Dublin, and Nelson Smith were honored with the Platinum Award in recognition of their dedicated involvement in the local cooperative movement, spanning 40 years and more. They were among cooperative volunteers awarded during the first ever Cooperatives Awards held on the weekend at the Intercontinental Cabrits Resort and Spa as part of activities for International Year of Cooperatives under the theme Celebrating Volunteerism. Recognized for 20 to 39 years of service were Amo Thomas, Bonty Liverpool, Ellsworth Prevost, Francis Paul, Gregory Revere, Helen Ambo, Mervyn Alexander, Murphy Wallace, Ophelia Linton, and Philippa Daniel. Arlington Burnett, Jacob Dura, Jeremy Christoph Maxima, Juliana Gordon, Kimani Murilo, Oludije Obonyo, Revelous St. Rose, Sonia Williams, and Stuart Paris were awarded for their service between 10 to 19 years, while Dexter Ducre and Vernice Belloni were awarded as outstanding volunteers. The Christian Union Primary School received a special recognition as a junior cooperative. Minister for Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, Greta Roberts, in her remarks, said volunteerism is the soul of the cooperative movement and a driving force for community development.
It is what turns an idea into action, what transforms members into leaders, and what builds bonds of trust and solidarity among people. When citizens come together freely to pool their skills, knowledge, time, and effort, they create more than just businesses and corporations. They build communities that work for everyone. And this is where my admiration for the cooperative movement lies. The potential to bring about progressive change as a unit working towards the same goal, especially in our rural communities.
Minister for Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, Greta Roberts. The National Beekeepers Cooperative earned both the Cooperative Youth and Innovation Award and the Cooperative Teamwork Award. The Margot Cooperative Credit Union received the Cooperative Partnership and Engagement Award, while the National Cooperative Credit Union was honored with the Cooperative Financial Excellence Award. Meanwhile, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, Minister for Finance, said cooperatives show the power of the collective and that progress can and must be shared.
Whether it's a credit union lifting families out of poverty, a farmers group securing better prices for produce, or a fisheries cooperative ensuring food security, you are helping to build an inclusive economy for all. Cooperatives give people a stick, a voice, and a chance. You keep wealth circulating in our communities. You teach responsibility, resilience, and resourcefulness. And perhaps most importantly, you remind us that when we pool our efforts together, even the smallest contributions can create lasting change.
Minister for Finance, Dr. Irvin McIntyre. In more news this morning, the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force has announced a record number of new appointments for officers to higher ranks. Acting Chief of Police Lincoln Corbett made the announcement during the Ministry of National Security press conference last Thursday. In total, 39 officers will be assuming new ranks within the Dominica Police Force.
So the Police Service Commission met based upon recommendation that were made sent to them, and also acting on your own deliberate judgment, promoted 19 officers in various ranks. So we now have our full complement of ranks from commissioner all the way down to the last corporal, albeit some of them in acting capacity. So Inspector Maxime, the acting ACP. They also promoted 2 ASPs to the rank of superintendent, 3 inspectors to the rank of ASP, 6 sergeants, assistant superintendent of police, ASP, 6 sergeants to the rank of acting inspectors, and 7 corporals to the rank of sergeants. Additionally, acting upon the powers vested in the Chief of Police by the Commission, I have appointed 2 officers to the position of corporal and 18 officers to act corporal. I don't believe ever before we have had so many officers been promoted at any one time.
Acting Chief of Police Lincoln Corbett. And Dominica's emergency services are expected to be enhanced with the construction of a new US $2.5 million fire station in La Plaine. Acting Fire Chief Wayne Later said the new fire station signifies advancements in improving emergency response across the island.
The government of Dominica, in collaboration with the United States Southern Command, are advancing in plans to construct a fire station in the La Plaine district, $2.5 million US. And that is a great step, and we appreciate that greatly within the fire service, because that is also in keeping with our plan to improve on the emergency coverage for that particular district.
Acting Fire Chief Wayne Later. Still with the national focus, Chairman of the Dominica Festivals Committee, Gerard Kuzlatig, has said he is saddened by the passing of former Executive Director of the Dominica Festivals Committee, Jeffrey Brisbane. Mr. Brisbane passed away in Miami on Saturday.
It was very sad for me to hear of the passing of my partner and brother, Jeffrey Brisbane. We go back a very, very long way. With DFC and the World Creole, we traveled together many times to St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Guadeloupe to promote the World Creole Festival in the early days. And, he was always one, you give him that. He had the energy to try and move things, and he was always the first to move around and so forth. And it was really fun. I mean, we worked hard, but we also had fun together.
Chairman of the Dominica Festivals Committee, Gerard Kuzlatig. The late Jeffrey Brisbane was described by the Ministry of Tourism, Discover Dominica Authority, and the Dominica Festivals Committee in a tribute as a passionate cultural advocate who was instrumental in the continued growth and success of the World Creole Music Festival, as his leadership helped shape the festival into an internationally recognized celebration of Creole music and identity. And the 25th edition of Dominica's signature music and cultural event, the World Creole Music Festival, will be done in a bigger and bolder way. That's according to Minister for Tourism Dennis Charles Pemberton during the festival's official launch last Friday.
This is the Silver Jubilee of the World Creole Music Festival. I stand before you filled with gratitude, honor, and pure excitement because we are going bigger, bolder, and better than ever before. A quarter century ago, a vision began to take shape, a dream to celebrate our unique Creole identity through the universal language of music and to showcase the authentic sound and talents of our local artists and performers to a worldwide audience. We lit a spark, and today that spark is a blazing fire that burns bright across the Caribbean, the diaspora, and the world.
Minister for Tourism Dennis Charles Pemberton. The World Creole Music Festival will be held October 24 to 26 under the theme Global Echoes of the Nature Isle. The full lineup for the 2025 edition of the festival was also revealed during Friday's official launch.
We have Burning Flames out of Antigua, Midnight Cubas, Halibut, Just Fountain from Dominica. There's New Look out of Haiti, Roaming Pearl from Jamaica, Oswald out of St. Martin, TK International from Dominica, Steel Balls out of the UK and Jamaica. Also Ace Bantan, WCK, Roy, Rich, Buddhas, Kenny G, Kwan, DJ MJ, Little Boy, Faithy, Ebony Empress, and Jixel and Shanika out of Guadeloupe. First Serenade Band, Gordon Henderson, Ezra the Fun Machine out of St. Lucia, Ophelia Marie, Linford Joseph, Joey Duet Filet, Kester Band, Spice, Vibes Cartel, Tiwa Savage, Bungie Garden and Payon Lions, Ecstasy Band, Kassab, Michael Henderson, Elijah Benoit, Signal Band, Trilogy, Nice, Rio.
Marketing and Communication Specialist at Discover Dominica Authority, Monel Alexis. And finally, in the national focus this morning, the Dominica Council on Aging, Inc. is getting set to host its 29th annual general meeting under the theme Honoring the Past, Shaping Tomorrow. A release from the council states that this year's AGM will bring together council members and representatives of affiliate organizations to reflect on the progress made in advocating for the rights and well-being of older persons in Dominica. It adds that the meeting also represents an opportunity to chart a renewed path forward in strengthening support systems and policies that enhance the lives of our senior citizens. According to the press release, the theme Honoring the Past, Shaping Tomorrow reflects the Council's continued commitment to acknowledging the invaluable contributions of the elderly population while taking active steps toward building a more inclusive, age-friendly society. The meeting will hear reports on the Council's activities over the past year, presentation of its audited financial statements, and election of the Board of Directors. The 29th Annual General Meeting of the Dominica Council on Aging will be held tomorrow, Tuesday, July 8 at 9:30 a.m. at the St. Alphonsus Parish Hall. Moving on to news from the region, Jennifer Gerlins Simmons Sunday became the first woman to be elected president of Suriname. Lawmakers supported the doctor and former parliamentary speaker more than a month after voters in this Dutch-speaking Caribbean country went to the polls to elect a new government on May 25. The 71-year-old president-elect, who will be sworn into office on July 16, said she comes into the office to serve and will use her knowledge, strength, and insight to make Suriname's wealth available to all its people. Simmons, representing the National Democratic Party, and Gregory Rusland of the National Party of Suriname as a running mate for vice president, have secured the backing of 34 members of the National Assembly, exactly the number required for election in the first round. Suriname is preparing to celebrate its 50th anniversary of political independence. And internationally, China said BRICS does not seek confrontation or target any country after U.S. President Donald Trump threatened a new 10% tariff. Trump said in a July 6 post on Truth Social that the additional levy would hit any country, quote, aligning themselves with the anti-American policies of BRICS, end quote, an economic group of developing countries. He said there would be no exceptions. It is formed of 11 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, United Arab Emirates, Ethiopia, Indonesia, and Iran. Trump had also said he would begin sending out tariff letters or announcing trade deals on July 7 as his 90-day pause on his reciprocal tariff nears its conclusion. China and the U.S. recently came to an agreement on trade that saw Washington loosen some of its restrictions and Beijing accelerate rare earth exports. That's news. Stay tuned for the sports report.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica. And yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc., the biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
We begin the morning sports report with cricket as the West Indies struggles with the bat continued as they folded on Sunday to lose the second test against Australia. The Aussies picked up a series clinching win as they were able to bowl out the West Indies for just 143 to pick up the crushing 133-run win. Roston Chase got 34 and Shamar Joseph 24. Mitchell Stark picked up 3 for 24 and Nathan Lyon 3 for 42. The final scores Australia 286 and 244. 143, the West Indies 253 and 143 all out. West Indies captain Rustin Chase.
Well, 270 was always a challenging task, but as a team, you always have to believe in every chase, despite the conditions, despite what's happening before. You just have to put all that to the back of your mind and just go and believe and play confident and play positively and try your best to execute your skills.
Yeah, now that the series is lost, you go to Jamaica for that third and final test. How would you rectify this batting in that short space of time?
Well, as I said, it's just for the guys to stay confident, stay believing in themselves and their ability. And as I said, we keep falling down with that new ball. If we could set the tone early in terms of the opening partnership or the top three batters, just staying out there for a few more overs and nullifying that swing, nullifying that hard ball, I think we'll be in with a good show.
Your brightest spot has to be your bowling matching the excellence we've seen from the Australians. How do you keep that group of bowlers motivated?
Well, those guys are really hungry. The guys always want to bowl. When I call on them, they're always eager to bowl, and when I want to take them off, they always ask for one more over, and it makes it tough for me as a captain to rotate my bowlers. But as I said, those guys are really performing well. They're really hungry, and they're world-class bowlers.
West Indies captain Rustin Chase. The third test starts on Saturday in Jamaica. And a half century from Kurt Murray and solid contributions from Dominica's senior Fountain helped propel the Windward Islands under-19 team to their second win in the Cricket West Indies under-19 tournament as they beat Jamaica in St. Kitts on Sunday. The Windwards batted first and made just 196 in 44 overs. Kurt Murray got 52, a senior Fountain 26, and Theo Edwards 25. Jamaica chasing 196 were bowled out for 192. Edmund Moranci took 2 for 34, Christine Murray 2 for 31, Darvin Ford 2 for 26, a senior Fountain 1 for 15, and Joel Dura 1 for 26. The Windwards won by 4 runs. In other results Sunday, Barbados beat Trinidad by 144 runs. Leewards beat the USA B team by 3 wickets, and the USA A team beat Guyana by 7 wickets. And in some volleyball news, the men's national beach volleyball team of Mervyn Mingo and Bill Frederick overcame a slow start to the Norseca Beach Volleyball Tournament to end their competition on a high note on Sunday in the Dominican Republic. Dominica lost their 2 first matches, losing to Canada and Puerto Rico. But the team bounced back to beat Puerto Rico and then beat Casavo champions Barbados in straight sets 23-21 and 21-18. Dominica ended the tournament with 2 wins and 2 defeats, finishing in 9th place overall. Meantime, the under-19 boys team of Kyston Anthony and Kylo Robinson will take to the sands later this morning as the Norseca under-19 qualifiers get underway. Dominica has been placed in a tough group with Puerto Rico, Mexico, and the USA. Moving on to some football news this morning, the Belfast Estate Maho Soka Strikers have kept the pressure on league leaders Dubla as they came from 2 goals down to secure a win and all 3 points against Middleham United as the DFA Premier League continued last weekend. Demario Challenger got a brace and Clemson Isaac netted against his former team as Maho came down from 2-0 to win 5-3. Kenny George and Jamo Talbot also scored for Maho, while Marcellus Borney got 2 goals and Jovan Matthew also scored for Middleham. The win moves Maho to 24 points, and they are now 3 points behind league leaders Dubla. Maho midfielder, the returning Keanu Martin, says it was a good fight from his team to get all 3 points.
Well, the performance we didn't start off with the football we really expected to play as a team. We started off a little rush in the game, but later on my players, those that are on the field, whilst I on the bench, they show me they can settle themselves and play the football we have to play it and take our time and play as a team, collectively going forward and defending and talking to each other.
How impressed are you that the team were able to come back from 2 goals down?
Well, even though we was down, I never had any doubting. I always knew we always playing to the final whistle. I know my players don't give up. From the way we kept going in the game. No matter, even though they score, we always kept pushing back to make sure we come back in the game. And second half, we made sure when we come back, we take the lead and we don't lose in it.
This is an important win for the club. Puts you 3 points behind Dubla. You know, it's going to be a tight race to the finish. What do you think, will be the keys for Mao to win the championship?
Well, the key for us is to stay focused and to stay united as a team. To stay together no matter through the bad and through the good. Through ups and through downs, we stay as a team. So we know unity together, going forward, we can help each other. Because in football, it's always a team sport. It's one player helping another. That is how we're going forward. We want to help one another and play a competitive football together and try and challenge Dubla for the title.
And that was Maho midfielder Keanu Martin. In other results, the Roosevelt's carried Bombers' title hopes suffered a major setback as they were beaten by Promex Harlem Sunday. Tyrese John Baptist, Elvon Jord, and Conrad Simon both scored for Harlem, who also benefited from an own goal as they took down the Bombers 4-2. Antoine Larocque and Tyrese Carbon scored for the Bombers. Meantime, Sagiko Southeast secured a comfortable 3-1 win over Connect 767 Quartz Ready Cast East Central. Darren James, Sidney Lockett, and Trey Douglas got a goal each as Southeast took the 3 points. Nathan Newton got the consolation goal for East Central in stoppage time. In other results, a hat-trick from national midfielder Kian Thomas proved to be the difference as Valvoline We United picked up all 3 points in a tricky encounter with Petrocaribe Point Michelle. Thomas's hat-trick, along with a goal from Randall Copel, helped Valvoline We United to a 4-3 win. Justin Kazimi, Dante Warrington, and Perry Charles converted for Point Michelle. The win moves We United to 21 points on the season, 6 points behind the league leaders, Dubla. In more sports this morning, a call for Dominicans to be more engaged in physical activity has come from President of the Dominica Olympic Committee, Billy Doctrove. His comments as the Olympic Committee observed Olympic Day on the weekend. A number of Dominica's sporting organizations were on display at the Bath Estate playing field. There were also the traditional Olympic Day run, where athletes completed a short run around the outskirts of Roseau.
Were here. The theme for this year of the Olympic Day is basically for us to remain active, keep on moving, and they ask us to, whenever we do that, we bring one more person. So they say, let's move plus one. So for the next 6 months of the year at least, we are asking everyone to get more involved in physical activity. It's healthy and it's the best thing to do. So whenever you do it, you try and bring one more person with you.
President of the Dominica Olympic Committee, Billy Doctrove. Moving on to some basketball news, defending DABA Premier League champions, the Detroit Blazers, reminded the young BAA Sharks that they are a tough team to beat as they handed the young Sharks their first defeat of the season as the DABA Premier League continues last weekend. The Blazers won 80-75. Maxwell Birmingham had 21 and Sergi Joseph 23 for the Blazers, while Kimmel Dodds got 21 and Jimal Peltier and Jaden Scotland scored 16 points each for the Sharks. In other results from the Premier League, the Paybush Super Eagles took down the Dr. Darryl Pleasure Sports Club. Killing Paul had a game-high 24 points, and the Eagles beat the Falcons 76-54. Shama Felicity added 18 for the Eagles, while Mishak Debule got 18 and Zach Bastin 15 for the Falcons. Meantime, in the Division 1 League last weekend, the Perkins Pizza Young Ballers were too much for the Canefield Tigers as they won 67-52. Andel Olivache had 17 and Charlton Charles 15 points for the Young Ballers. Haywood Powell had 23 for the Tigers, who are yet to pick up a win this season. And the Convenience Plus Maho Gators picked up their first win of the season as they took down the defending champions Detroit Blazers. Maho took the grudge match over the Massac-based team 60-49. Vaughn Vidal got 22 and Delton Eugene 16 for the Maho Gators, while Elijah Popo and Drayshawn Lee had 10 each for the Blazers. The win was the first win of the season for the Maho Gators.
Well, that win was coming. We had it for Blazers. We decided this year we're not going to make Blazers beat us, and we finally get over that of beating Blazers.
All right, let's talk about the contributions from your team, because throughout the season you've been getting the contributions, you just haven't turned it into winning performances. What did you have to say about your team tonight?
Okay, I have to single out Deltin. Deltin played big in the center for us. Vaughn hit big freeze for us. Vaughn did what we asked him to do for this season. We asked him to shoot our ball, and he been doing that. And Sholon been controlling the ball for us. We have our two Castle Bruce players, that is Reina and Steve. They finally came and they show why we needed them.
Do you think this win could be the catalyst for great things to come for the Mao team?
Well, you know Mao already. We just need a taste, and when we get a taste of something, we like to be in it. So that's just the beginning.
Player coach of the Maho Gators, Peter Simon. And we end this morning's sports report with cricket. Indian captain Shubman Gill picked up man of the match honours as he let his bat do the talking as India squared their test series with England on the weekend. Gill hit a first innings double century and a second innings century as India batted England out of the contest. England chasing 608 to win the match were bowled out for 271. Akashdeep picked up a 6 for 99. India won by 336 runs. The final scores: India 587 and 427 for 6 declared. England 407 and 271 all out. The series is level at 1-1. And that's how we end this morning's sports report and newscast. On behalf of the entire news desk and sports desk, I'm Christina Joseph saying good morning.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
The time now it is 27 minutes, moving up to 8 o'clock. It is now time to present you with this morning's weather report, brought to you listeners through the kind contribution of Big Edge Financial and Flow. And on this note, we say good morning to Dane Charles.
Good morning. This is your weather update from the Dominica Meteorological Service at the Douglas Charles Airport for the 7th of July 2025, recorded at 7 a.m. Today's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, slightly hazy, and breezy at times with a few showers. The conditions at Douglas Charles Airport this morning were partly cloudy with vicinity showers. The service winds came from the east-southeast at 7 knots or 13 kilometers an hour, and the temperature was 26 degrees Celsius or 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Yesterday's rainfall at Douglas Charles was 3.5 millimeters, and the monthly rainfall so far has been 12.6 millimeters. Sunset today is at 6:40 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow at 5:40 a.m. High tide today is at 3:29 p.m. and the next low tides at 8:55 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. And now the weather outlook for Dominica and the Lesser Antilles. A high-pressure system will dominate the conditions across Dominica during the next 24 hours. Patches of low-level clouds moving westward with the wind flow